There are moments that do not simply break your heart. They stop you mid-breath, forcing you to sit with a kind of pain that feels both personal and universal. Moments that make you question how cruelty grows, how kindness survives, and how far a single act of courage can travel. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you are watching from. We would love to see how far this conversation is reaching. What follows is not just a story about bullying. It is not only about a teenager with wealth and followers. At its core, it is a collision between arrogance and sacrifice. Between a boy who thought pain was entertainment and a community that refused to let a fallen soldier's legacy be mocked. It begins with a video. A simple tap of a record button. A 16-year-old boy holding a phone, smirking into the camera, eager to impress an audience that applauded every reckless move he made. He believed that money made him untouchable. He believed that laughter justified cruelty. He believed that humiliation was content. His name is Trevor Sterling, son of billionaire tech magnate Marcus Sterling. Trevor had built an online persona around wealth, privilege, and disdain for anyone who did not live the way he did. His videos displayed shoes worth more than some families earned in a week, a Tesla that waited for him after school, and an endless parade of luxury. Hundreds of thousands watched him each day. Many laughed with him. Many encouraged him. One boy did not. A quiet 12-year-old who kept his head down, who ate alone, who carried his father's memory around his neck. A boy named Danny Morrison. Danny had a life shaped by sacrifice long before he even understood the word. His father, Marine Staff Sergeant David Morrison, lost his life in Afghanistan while saving the rest of his squad from an ambush. He threw himself onto a grenade so his brothers in uniform could live. He was awarded the Medal of Honor, though he never lived to hold it. Danny was 8 years old when he received the folded flag. Since then, his mother Jennifer had worked days as a nurse and nights as a waitress. She stretched every dollar like it had a heartbeat. She made sure Danny could attend a school his father dreamed he would go to, a school filled with children who had everything he did not. Riverside Academy offered scholarships for children of fallen service members. Danny qualified, but the gap between him and the other students remained painfully visible. His shirts were worn. His backpack was hand-me-down. His lunch was simple, but he carried himself with quiet dignity. Never complaining, never causing trouble, always trying to honor a father he desperately wished he could remember more clearly, unfortunately. Dignity made him a target in Trevor's world. Trevor launched a series of TikTok videos he proudly titled Scholarship Kid Chronicles. The name alone was enough for students to whisper, to chuckle, to look away when Danny walked past. In the first clip, Trevor strutted toward Danny in the cafeteria, broadcasting a running commentary meant to humiliate. He zoomed in on Danny's lunch, a simple sandwich and an apple, and mocked it as though poverty was a punchline. Danny asked him softly to stop. Trevor only laughed. The video earned nearly 1 million views. Cruelty thrives when rewarded. The next video chased Danny down the hallway as Trevor mocked the fact that he wore the same pair of shoes each week. Danny tried to escape the camera, but privilege has long legs and no shame. Students saw. Teachers saw. No one acted. When the son of the school's most powerful donor targeted someone, silence spread faster than compassion. The harassment escalated. Trevor recorded Danny during gym class, commenting on his outdated clothes, his worn sneakers, his uncomfortable expression. Danny looked like a child trying to hold himself together, trying to hide the sting of shame in front of classmates who pretended not to notice, but nothing compared to the moment that changed everything, one afternoon. Trevor spotted the dog tags around Danny's neck. He picked up the camera with a grin that carried the arrogance of someone who believed he faced no consequences. He barked out accusations of stolen valor, mocking the idea that Danny had any connection to sacrifice. Danny whispered that they were his father's, that his father had died in Afghanistan. Trevor's response was a line that froze an entire hallway. He laughed and said that Danny's father could not even afford to stay alive. Danny's expression collapsed in real time. Tears welled instantly. He tried to turn away, but Trevor followed him, still filming, still jeering, still thrusting a camera into a boy's grief like it was a stage. He mocked a dead hero for views. He mocked a child for being poor because of that hero's sacrifice. He mocked a family that had already lost everything. The internet did not laugh this time. Within hours, millions had seen the video. Veterans around the country reacted with outrage. Gold Star families posted messages of support for Danny. News outlets picked up the story. The name Staff Sergeant David Morrison spread rapidly, not because of the way he died, but because of the way his son was being humiliated. Jennifer Morrison saw the videos during a work break, sitting alone in her car. Her hands shook as she pressed play. She cried so hard she could barely breathe. Her child had faced cruelty she never imagined, cruelty tied directly to the sacrifice that had shattered their family years before. She went to the school demanding immediate action. They hesitated. They spoke of policies, of procedures, of steps they needed to follow. She saw fear in their eyes, fear of losing donations, fear of angering a billionaire. So she did what grieving mothers have always done when institutions fail them. She spoke publicly. She told the world about her husband's sacrifice, about her son's pain, about the school's unwillingness to act. Her voice trembled with fury and heartbreak, and the country listened. Veterans gathered outside the school with flags and signs. Parents demanded accountability. The story reached national headlines. Yet the most dramatic moment came not from the public, but from the billionaire himself. Marcus Sterling returned from an international trip, never having seen any of the videos. He walked into a school board meeting expecting routine business. But when the lights dimmed and the screen lit up with Trevor's face, the casual cruelty, the vile laughter at a dead Marine's sacrifice, Marcus felt his stomach drop. Jennifer Morrison stood up in that room, her voice quaking as she named her husband, named her child, named the agony Trevor had inflicted. Marcus listened, and shame washed over him like cold water. He did not defend his son. He did not search for excuses. He did not hide behind wealth, lawyers, or reputation. He stood up in the middle of the meeting, trembling but resolute, and said he would call the police himself. And he did, minutes later. He contacted authorities, handed over every video, and insisted Trevor face the full weight of juvenile charges. He then posted a public video expressing his apology, his horror, and his commitment to Gold Star families. Though reactions were mixed, many recognized the courage it took for a powerful man to hold his own child accountable rather than shield him. 3 weeks later, the juvenile courtroom filled with tension as Trevor faced charges for harassment, assault, and cyberbullying. Danny sat quietly with his mother, clutching the photograph of a father he wished he could still hug. Marcus sat in the back, silent, waiting for the judge's call. Trevor claimed everything was a joke, that he did not think about the harm, that roasting people online was normal. But the judge saw the truth. He replayed the videos. Every cruel word echoed through the courtroom. Every tear Danny shed appeared on the screen. Every student's stunned silence played again in front of Trevor's eyes. The judge asked Marcus to speak. Marcus stepped forward with a voice weighed down by humiliation and love. He said he had failed as a father, that his son's actions disgusted him, that he refused to allow privilege to become a shield. Asterisk, the sentence was firm. 60 days in juvenile detention. 300 hours of community service with military and Gold Star programs. Mandatory empathy training. A complete social media ban for 2 years. Formal letters to every Gold Star family and to Danny. Asterisk, Trevor's face changed. The weight of his actions finally cracked through his arrogance. Reality replaced entitlement. Asterisk, over the following months, the service hours forced him into the very world he mocked. He met children who lost parents in combat. He heard stories of sacrifice that shook him. He learned that heroism is quiet, painful, and often poor. He wrote a genuine apology to Danny, one that took him days to finish because for the first time, he meant every word. Asterisk, Danny accepted it. Not because he forgot, but because forgiveness is sometimes the bravest honor a child can give to his father's memory. Asterisk, Marcus's donation funded dozens of scholarships. Riverside Academy reinstated stronger anti-bullying policies. And Danny continued his education, still carrying his father's dog tags, standing taller than before, knowing the world saw his father's sacrifice, and more importantly, saw his strength. Asterisk, justice found its place. A lesson was carved into the heart of a boy who desperately needed to learn it. And the memory of a fallen Marine lived on not through medals or ceremonies, but through a 12-year-old boy who learned that courage sometimes means surviving the cruelty of others with dignity intact. Asterisk, if this powerful story moved you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content that brings real stories.